Hi, my name's Paul Cresswell. Welcome to Paul's Tackle Reviews. The purpose of this channel is to give you reviews of tackle that's been out on the bank, tried and tested by an unbiased, unsponsored angler, and that's me. Today we've got a new reel to the market. It's the Guru N-Gage Pro 4000 reel. I've had this a couple of months, been out, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Some of you will recall that I reviewed the Guru Aventus reel a couple of years ago, which I think cost 230 quid, and I didn't like it as a reel. I felt it was far too heavy. It weighed 460 grams, and despite adjusting the washers as much as I could never get the line lay right. I'm giving Guru a second chance with their reels. This is the N-Gage Pro. It is a thing of beauty, beautifully designed, looks great, doesn't really matter, does it? It's all about performance. So this is a 4000 size reel, and what I will say is a big 4000 size reel. Now, there isn't an industry standard for sizings of reels, but I'm going to pop a photo up now showing it side by side with the Shimano Aero XR 5000 reel that I also use. And as you can see, this is a bigger reel. It's got a gear ratio of 4.6 to 1. That means every full turn of the handle turns the bail arm round 4.6 times, just in case you don't know that. And it retrieves 79 centimetres of line per turn. So it's a good speed. It's not a super high speed. I think this is the perfect gear ratio and retrieve for a really good feeder rod reel. It's got a really robust bail arm. It's got a nice big anti-reverse on the bottom, and it's got 7+1 ball bearings, which is what it says on the box. That, in my world, I'm an accountant, equals 8. And the line capacity, it takes around 150 meters of 0.24 line. I use Guru Submerge XD. I've done a video on that. It's 0.23 diameter, which is 8 pound breaking strain. And so there's around 150 meters on. That's perfect. What I will say is the line lay, and I'll put another photo. The line lay, the first time I spooled it up, was absolutely perfect, and that's something I didn't have with the last Guru reel that I bought. It has a nice long, it feels long, handle, which gives you more cranking power, and it's also one of their handles where it's not a fold down where you press something and you clip it in. It's one of those that you wind into position like that, and then it never comes apart. And I've had this on cadence reels that I've had for over 6 years, as well as the Shimanos. They've got that feature as well, and I think it just avoids any play backwards and forwards that you sometimes get with a fold-in handle. It's got a spare spool that's the same as the main spool, and sometimes on reels, to save a bit of money, they give you a plastic spare spool that isn't as good as the main one, but this one has got 2 machine cut spare spools provided. It weighs 361 grams, which is still, in my book, quite a heavy reel. The Aero 5000 comes in around 275 grams, and my Preston magnitude was around 320. So it's slightly heavier than both of those. But what I will say is I haven't seen that weight as a problem in use. In the same way that I did find it a problem with the Aventus that weighs another kind of 4 ounces more than this reel. But it is a heavyish reel. I don't think it's a waggler reel where the rod's in your hand all day and you're in and out. I think you need a lighter reel for that. But for a feeder rod and for a feeder reel where most of the time your rod's in the rest or you're casting or you're playing fish, you're not holding the rod all the time. The weight isn't a problem. So what's my overall thoughts? And I've been out quite a few times using this reel. This is an excellent reel and the cost is £110, and I think for that price this offers incredible value. You're getting a lot of features, a lot of reel for your money, and that's a really competitive price point. The Shimano Aero XRs are slightly more. The magnitudes are around that price. It's a good price point, and I think this is very competitively priced. It's got great line lay, love the size of it. The weight's not an issue. It's super smooth in use, and it has a really good cranking power because it's got that long stem there and it's a bigger reel with a wider spool at the top. That all said, there are two buts I want to talk about when I explain why this reel isn't for me. And that doesn't mean it won't be for you and it's a bad reel. It just doesn't work for me. The first one is it has a quick clutch. So you can go from hardly any to quite a lot in only a few turns. I'm going to put a video hopefully demonstrating how just a few little clicks makes it go from very little to quite a lot. Here's the video. I hope that showed it for you, and I've therefore found problems adjusting the clutch while I'm playing a fish, because just you've got a fish on and you're trying to just do one little turn. It's been a problem for me. The clutch is excellent when you get it where you want it, but I don't think adjusting it mid-fight is that easy. And one turn on here might be 6 or 7 turns on my Aero, so there's a lot more settings for the clutch. When I'm using my Shimano Aero, I have it set so when I'm playing a fish, it's just every now and again it just clicks, so you know that the clutch is set right. And I've struggled to get that bang on with this. Now, if you play fish using backwind and you want this clutch as a backstop, that's not a problem for you. You won't have any problem. Some people will like the quick adjustability. If you're fishing short, you want to slacken it off, couple of turns, you get a fish, couple of turns, you're putting it back on. That might suit you. It doesn't work for me. The second problem I've had is the distance from the rod to the spool there. So when I'm casting, I tend to put my finger on there. So I've got the rod, and what I've found is that distance rod to spool is around 6.2 centimeters, whereas on the Aero it's 5.2 centimeters. And when this spool's high up, because that's where it's finished, I'm just struggling just to control it, especially when you want to punch and really pound a feeder out. It's affected my casting. Now, I think I've got fairly normal sized hands, but it was just a little problem where the spool is too far away. I'll put a quick photo up here. I don't know if it really shows it, but the distance is greater than my other reels. Now, if you cast by folding the bail arm over and holding it with one of your fingers, I cast off my middle finger, and a lot of good anglers do. I've seen Lee Kerry doing that. Then this isn't ever going to be a problem for you. But if you cast like me by putting your finger, holding the line against the spool, you need to be checking, if you get one of these reels, that distance isn't too big for your hands. So what's the overall conclusion? This is a blooming excellent reel, but it's not for me, but it might be for you. Hopefully I've given you all the information so you can make an assessment to me. I've gone back to my Aero and immediately I feel happier, particularly with the casting issue. I do recommend these reels if the problems I have aren't a problem for you. I think they're at a great price point and they're a fantastic reel. If you want to give me a like and subscribe, that's great. More videos on the way in this baking hot weather that we have. Until next time, tight lines.